I first really learned about it and started studying it as I was a firefighter and a paramedic here in Colorado. And when you're running these very high stress emergent incidents, it's very easy to allow your tornado in your mind, this amygdala hijack, to really take hold and not be able to focus on what you need to do in the present moment. So I saw that, I experienced that, and said, all right, I need to find something. And everything led back to meditation. And Dad, you're watching this, you're thinking, come on, meditation, let's not talk about this. It's something to give a shot, give a try. Basically, sit for 2 minutes, focus on your breath, and then when your mind inevitably wanders off over here, bring it back to your breath. And that's just the exercise. That's the physical exercise of doing that in your brain, which is meditation, which brings you in the present moment. That's my appreciation for it, but you have dived or are diving deeper in that. Can you talk a little bit more about meditation, yoga, Reiki? I'm actually not familiar with that. How do we now take what we need to do and put it into practice?
So I believe wholeheartedly that in this world where we're all plugged in all the time, there's a level of agitation that has been so normalized that we don't even realize that we're in that agitation. And it's being glued to the phone and to our devices that takes it to a whole other level. And the only time we actually realize it is when we go on vacation. But even then we can still be on our phone. So there can still be that agitation. And so if we look at meditation in the simplest way, it is being with ourselves. Some people can find that they are doing that when they're driving. They could do it even more. They turn off the music, they turn off everything, and they're just with themselves. And they use that time to quiet. Now, there are so many different meditations, Ryan. There's so many, and people are like, oh, I don't want to do that, right? But there's so many access points into it. And myself, I'm such a self-help junkie, I guess you would say, that I will use different types of meditation depending on what is going on for me. Sometimes my mind won't go quiet, and so I need to meet my mind with maybe a guided meditation. So I'll listen to a guided meditation. I've done so many guided meditations, like I created so many of them, that sometimes I'll even listen to myself because it's like me listening to me. And then sometimes the meditation is moving my body, just shaking it out, just moving, going for a walk. That can be meditation. If we're with ourselves, and if we are not on the phone, not listening to a podcast, I don't know about all of you, unless it's Ryan's, of course. Unless it's Ryan's podcast, and that's okay. But I can get where I'm taking in too much information. It's like, I am so sick of hearing other people in my mind. I need to hear myself. And we don't even realize that we don't even know our own thoughts. So sometimes meditation for me can look like sitting there and not even necessarily, because this is the thing with meditation, we think that we're supposed to quiet our mind. And I don't know how many times I heard people say, well, I can't meditate. I'm not good at it. It's like, no, that's the point. You sit and you hear you hear your mind, you hear yourself. That is part of meditation. It's like, oh, I keep thinking that thought. Oh, I keep thinking that thought. Oh, that's okay. That is meditation. And sometimes we get 30 seconds where wow, nothing. That's the gift. And sometimes it's a minute, sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's not anything. The problem is when we do meditation and we are expecting that. When I sit down, sometimes I'll just sit and I'll be like, okay, well, what do I need to think right now? What do I need to think through? So it's more of a contemplation. What do I need to really go into and give myself 5 minutes to think without doing and trying to fix, but letting my mind, because the mind will then, and then when it loops on something, we've all been there, that loopy thing, I keep thinking about that same thing. That's when I know that there's something to be with. something to love on, something to work with, something that needs support. And so that's a good sign for me.